on? Am I live? Do you see me in the group? This is typical Facebook, typical technology. Let me know if it's what's happening. Let me know if it's actually working. Let me know if you see me. I have a feeling you're not. So we are going to have to adjust what we're doing. Oh, here we go. Okay, ladies, let me know if you see me. All right, let me know if I'm here. Comment, please. Comment below, and just so I know that we're good to go so that I can continue talking. Hiba, yes, great. You can hear me and you can see me. Wonderful. So, technology crisis averted. Welcome, ladies, to the Boost Your Hormones Naturally class, day 1. I'm so happy that you're all with me. I'm so happy that you're here with me on day 1. I'm so happy that you've taken this opportunity for you to learn and to receive and to understand and to be in community. So let's get started. Today is day 1. I can see you all coming in. Hi, Shireen. Hi, Noor. Hi, Maryam. Hello, wonderful. Everybody's here and everybody can hear me. Wonderful. Let's get started. Before we get into the juicy stuff, I want to welcome all of you new members. So many new members have joined us this week and last week. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dana Danawi and I'm the hormone coach. And I show you how to take back control of your health by using nutrition. It's very simple. We use nutrition and lifestyle design. I show you how to completely, if you do what I tell you, eliminate all of your hormonal symptoms naturally using nutrition and lifestyle design. And part of the way that we do that is we have to get off and out of that cycle of yo-yo dieting, right? You're not going to heal if you continue dieting. So a big part of what I do is show you how to get out of the cycle of yo-yo dieting. Just learn how to eat once and for all and just keep eating that way for life. And in the process, you're going to, yes, you're going to lose the stubborn weight. You're going to regain your energy. You're going to create a lifestyle that fills you up every single day. Basically, we're going to help you get back to that version of you that you've been missing. You know, that one that somehow got lost somewhere along life, somewhere along, you know, your career, your kids, your marriage, your responsibilities. And where one day you sort of walk, you know, you're just walking in your house and there's a mirror and you catch a glimpse of yourself and it stops you dead in your tracks because all of a sudden the woman in the mirror is not you. You don't recognize her. You don't know how, and you don't know where, and you don't know what happened. And I think what stops us dead in our tracks more than maybe the physical appearance that we don't recognize anymore is that we don't recognize who we are in terms of what we're able to do. I mean, in our 20s and in our 30s, we're high achievers. We do and did a lot without even thinking about it. We're just very high powered and very driven, regardless of whether you're a stay-at-home mom or you're a working mom. It didn't matter. Like, no matter what task somebody put in front of you, staying up all night with your babies and waking up early and going to work, coming home, cooking, grocery shopping, taking care, like, it didn't matter. You did it. You didn't even think about it. You had the energy, you had the drive, you had the ambition. Everything was working together. Everything was synchronized. And now part of what we're feeling is that, right, so I don't look the same. I don't feel the same. You know, where is that version of me that was just, I could do anything, anytime I wanted? And that's the one that we want to recapture. That's the one that we feel like we've lost, right? That woman that we've lost. So let me know. Let me just see if you guys are all coming in. Say hello, hello. Hi, Shireen. Hi, Shireen. Hi, Wissam. Hi, Noha. Hi, ladies. So let me know as you're coming in, if as I'm saying something that's resonating with you, just type a big yes. I hear you. That's true. That's me. Let me know that what I'm saying is resonating with you. And especially with this year, I mean, last year, 2020, right? The number that said it all, 2020. It gave us clarity. It gave us a lot of things, but at the end of it, it gave us clarity. 2020 gave us focus, it gave us laser vision and what needs to change in our lives. Because despite everything that has happened this year, 2021, is about doing better now that you know better. And we know better after last year. We have prioritized. We know what needs to come first. We know where our attention needs to go in all areas of your life, right? But of course, specifically your health, because our attention has just been brought to the area of our health. So despite everything that 2020 has shown us last year, you have a choice every day to either make a change, or you can stay where you are, or you can blame the universe, or you can blame politics or the news or Corona, right? But 2020 showed us that we have a choice always. And I'm going to help you figure out how to use that power of making a choice. It's not about sacrifice. It's not about making a sacrifice. It's about making a choice. And I'm going to help you see your potential, how you can use nutrition and lifestyle skills. Because here's the thing, you can't possibly live your fullest potential or go back to that high achiever that's in your mind if you're constantly, like every single day at 3 p.m., you're just slumped because you can't go on anymore, right? Or you're just stuck in the cycle of yo-yo dieting, or you just are just focused on those 5 kilos that keep coming back, or every month you can't function because of PMS cramps, or constant fatigue, or I know some women who have to stay in bed and take shots once a month, whatever it happens to be for you. When you take charge of your health and your nutrition, you literally then take charge of how you feel physically and emotionally, and then ultimately you take charge of how you live. But you can't do that when your body is tired and it's slowly being eroded little by little. You don't even feel it. It's slowly being eroded day by day by day. When your hormones are imbalanced, that's what they do. They slowly sort of eat away. They slowly eat away at your energy, at your focus, on your mood, on your sleep, on your skin, on your hair, everything. It's a really slow erosion. It's been happening for a while, but you just suddenly wake up to it and it feels like, oh my God, how did this happen all of a sudden? It hasn't been all of a sudden. It's been a slow breakdown. So if you're here, I imagine that you have been putting in a ton of work, a ton of effort and time, but your health doesn't quite match up with all of the work that you feel you've been putting in. And like I said, you don't recognize yourself and you don't know what to do. So you are in the right place, ladies. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to help you. And congratulations for being here. Congratulations for signing up for this workshop, for showing yourself and showing you, more importantly, how committed you are to transforming your health. Because when you take charge of your health and you take charge of nutrition, and you realize at some point, you don't have to just follow blindly, right? I'm going to show you that there's no such thing as following blindly. I want you to become the expert on your health. You don't just follow blindly some prescriptive meal plan to become slim. That's not what I'm about. I'm about showing you how to heal, how to listen to your body, how to become your own expert. I want you to trust your body instead of other people's shoulds. Even mine, even what I'm going to tell you, I need you to question it. I need you to think about it. I need you to come back and ask me questions, because this is your body. Nobody knows it better than you do. You're the only one in charge of your body. Despite everything you might have been hearing the past year, you are the only one in charge of your health. You are the only one in charge of your body. You have the power to change your health. As soon as you make a decision to change your health, you have the power to heal yourself. You have the power to prevent disease. Only you. So let's take another look who's here, because as you can see, oh, wow, lots of you are here. Hi, Ines. Hi, May. Hi, Melek. Hello. Wow, lots of you are here. I have had, last count, there was about 460 women who signed up to this class. I can see that there's roughly 80 of you watching. So I know some of you are going to come back and watch the replay, but you're here. You showed up live. And those of you who are going to watch the replay are going to be showing the replay, but not everybody's here, right? Not everybody's here. You are the ones who are the committed action takers. You are the ones who are going to soar with the information that I'm going to share with you today. So whether you're watching live or watching the replay, I want you to put these classes in your schedule, and I want you to commit to being here. If you can't make it live, then I need you to write down another time that you're going to commit to watch the replay. Like in the email I sent you half an hour ago, I want you to make sure that you are uninterrupted, and I want you to make sure you have something to write on, something to write with, something to write on. All right. So keep saying hello in the comments below. Let me know where you're watching from. So I don't want you to miss any of this. Schedule it in You know, there's notifications that you turn on in the group for when I go live. I have reminders for when I go live. So constantly check the group, check your notifications so you don't miss anything in the next 9 days. And super, super, super important, if you're watching now, but you haven't exactly registered, you haven't gone into a link and put your name and your email yet, I put the link somewhere in the description above. I need you to do that, please, because I'm going to send you daily reminders for this class. And also, I'm going to do a bonus class on day 10, and that class is not going to be in here. That class is going to be a separate Zoom call. And in order for you to get the link for the Zoom call on that day, you have to be registered by email. So it's not enough for you to just watch in the class. Please register. All right. Here's our agenda just as a reminder. Today's day 1. We're talking about myth, misconceptions, and your power. Day 2, we're saying what are hormones exactly. Day 3, what triggers hormonal imbalance. Day 4, your hardest working organ and the foods it needs. Day 5, you're going to get to meet some of my amazing clients. Day 6, you're going to get more of my amazing clients. Day 7 is an Ask Me Anything day. So I'm not going to teach anything. After you've been listening to me for 6 days, you're going to have a lot of questions. So that day is specifically for you to come in and where I get to answer your questions. Day 8, I'm going to give you the plan, the basic plan for how to eat for hormonal health. Day 9 is our finale, and day 10 is going to be our bonus class. Every day, 8 p.m. in this group, except for the bonus class that's going to be in a Zoom call. All right. And each class will be recorded and will be available for replay here in the group until June 5th. Except for the bonus class, I'm going to send the link for the replay in an email. Again, why you should sign up in email so you can get that link. I have added a new little piece to this time's class, which is the VIP option. So this class is free. You don't have to pay anything to attend. But if you would like to have a little bit of extra personalized attention, I've added a VIP option, which is at the end of each class, each day, we are going to move, if you are a VIP member, we're going to move onto a separate Zoom call, which will be a personalized Zoom call for the ladies who want it. So it's not too late to sign up for that. Click also on the registration link. You just scroll down a little bit and you'll find the option where it gives you to pay for the VIP option. It's just $17, ladies, nothing. And you get an extra 30 to 45 minutes with me in a separate group, in a separate Zoom call where you get to have more one-on-one time with me. All right? All clear? Good. What's one more thing? Yes, I want to thank you all for sharing the event. So I want to thank you for sharing this information with your loved ones, helping to create a ripple effect of health. And in case you didn't know, I'm giving away 2 free hormone reset programs by the end of this class. And in order to qualify for the draw, this is what you have to do. There's 9 classes. You have to comment like how you're doing right now or answer a question when I ask for it for the first 4 classes only. And I want you to email your answer to the question I'm going to ask later on. Email your answer at questions@danadenawi.com. And then you need to invite at least 1 friend to join. That's it. You do those 2 things, you go into the draw. On day 5, I'm going to do a draw live and I'll announce 2 winners for the Hormone Reset Program. All right. So everybody's coming on in. Once again, I'm Dana Denawi and I'm the hormone coach. Say hello. I want to invite you to our virtual family. And my mission in life is to teach you how to get out of the cycle of yo-yo dieting, how to rebalance your hormones, how to discover and create beauty from the inside out, how to make clean eating a way of life so you get rid of fatigue and cravings and regain your willpower around food and create a guilt-free lifestyle that fills you up every single day. Who would like to know how to live like that? Who wants to know how to live a lifestyle where you're not controlled by your cravings, you have incredible willpower when somebody puts a chocolate cake in front of you, where you get rid of stubborn weight, where you wake up every single morning full of energy, where your moods are stable, where you don't have period pains, where you don't have any kind of discomfort or any kind of pain at all? Type yes in the comments if you want to know how to live like that. Let me know. Type yes in the comments. There is a little bit of a time lag. So by the time I ask you the question and by the time you actually type your answer, there's like a couple of seconds. All right. Malak says yes, 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 yes. Oh wow. Okay, no, there is no time lag. Yes. Nadia says yes. Nirmin says yes. Everybody says yes. Amazing. Of course, we don't want to be in pain. We don't want to be uncomfortable. We want to live pain-free and have a life that is full of pleasure. Who doesn't want that? If you're new here, though, let me just share a little bit about my background, because you are going to listen to me for 9 days. Why should you listen to me, in a sense, right? Here's why you should listen to me. I didn't just suddenly become healthy. I didn't just suddenly decide, here's what I want to do. I want to help other women transform their lives. So I'm going to share a story with you, which is very much, it's going to sound like a lot of your stories, because I'm just like so many of you. But my story sort of has two parts. The first part starts about 10 years ago. So I'm 48, almost 48 now. So when I was about 36, 37, that was when I hit the lowest point in terms of my health. Lowest point. And health for me back then was weight. So health was like equated, like the only way I measured my health was on the scale. And I used to live in my spandex. So my spandex was my favorite piece of clothing. And it used to just literally pull me in. Like it pulls in every single lump, it pulls in every single bump. And it gives you the look that you want. It gives you a bit of false confidence, but who cares? I'll take it. It worked amazing, because it literally in seconds you look thinner and you look more toned and you look curvy in the right places. But that sort of false sense of confidence, as soon as you come home and you take your spandex off, right? What happens? Like everything spills out all over the place. Like literally the real you just spills out all over the place. And that was me, literally and figuratively. So I was not only overweight, but I was depressed. I was unmotivated. I had literally no energy and no even enthusiasm to do anything. So everything in my life, I was a stay-at-home mom at the time, and it just felt like everything in my life was a chore. Everything was a chore. So waking up in the morning, like just the simple act of moving my body off the bed seemed like, oh, this is so hard every single morning. And I was only 37. And then at the time, my kids were 15, 13, and 3. And I had to get up and make breakfast, make lunch for my son to go to school. And it felt like you were asking me to climb up a mountain. I just didn't want to do it. And the only thing that I waited for every single day was like, right, get the kids off to school, go, 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 bye, 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 love you, so that I could go and have my large, skinny mocha latte. That's it. I think that's the only reason I woke up back then, because I knew that once the kids are off to school, I get to have my coffee, my delicious mocha latte. And it was like literally the most blessed, the most anticipated moment of my day. Everything else, I couldn't even tell you, like literally a blur. And it was as if I was on robot, like just tuck, 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 just doing what I need to do every day. I couldn't relate to my kids. I couldn't relate to my husband. I couldn't relate to myself. And even as I was thinking those things, I was feeling them. It was very legitimate feelings. I felt guilty just for feeling those things about my kids and my husband and my life, because on the surface, well, everything was great, alhamdulillah, right? There was no reason for me to be unhappy. It's not like, we have a beautiful home. We have everything that we want in life. We do everything that we want to do and enjoy doing. So it was I was like, you're just creating a problem out of nowhere. But that was actually how I felt. There was no reason for me to be unhappy, and yet I was. And so I kept trying to come up with all these possible explanations. And then the explanations, I was trying to help myself feel better, but the explanations actually drove me into more self-doubt and more mood swings. And I was like, okay, so maybe I'm not really looking at my life very objectively. Maybe my relationship really isn't working with my husband. Maybe I'm an awful mom. Maybe I think I'm a good mom, but maybe I'm actually a really awful mom. Maybe I shouldn't have been a mom ever. I just felt like, right, I hadn't found myself yet. What am I going to do? I had studied, I had done my master's, and here I was doing nothing. In my mind, even though being a stay-at-home mom is the hardest job in the world. Any stay-at-home mom can tell you that. But I was like, okay, so there's no reason for me to be unhappy. I couldn't figure it out. And I didn't feel like I wanted to go get help either. I downplayed my problems to such an extent that I felt like they sounded so silly to me and in my head that, and like there were people who had real problems, right? So I didn't tell anybody. I just let it all percolate in my head for months and months and months and months. And finally, with my own conclusion, I was like, right, this is a midlife crisis. This is what they call a midlife crisis, right? Because I hadn't always felt this way. And I didn't know how I got to this point, but it was like, right, I'm here. So midlife crisis, right? Everybody says you just sort of have to wait it out. So I'll just wait it out. But it just got worse and worse and worse. And I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't also want to be, kind of like, just what do they call it? Like a statistic. Oh yeah, you're going through a midlife crisis. I didn't want to talk about that. So all the days just dragged on and on. And physically, I just kept gaining weight and I would wake up with a headache no matter what. And then my body started to hurt and I developed like a sort of like a frozen shoulder for no apparent reason. And I would go to physiotherapy and physiotherapy didn't work. And then I just would get more and more lazy every day. And keep in mind, I was a stay-at-home mom, but my kids were at school all day. So it's not like I was a super busy running around with the kids, stay-at-home mom. And every day around 2 p.m., I would just fall asleep on the couch. Every day my kids would come home from school at 3:30 and find me, like that was the position. Like, where are we going to find mom when we come home? Asleep on the couch. And if they had something to do after school, then I would just stay sleeping until they came home and woke me up. And then the weight would just continue to pile on. And I would diet, I would starve myself, I would even work out, and it wasn't working. And none of this was enjoyable, right? There was nothing in my life that I was trying to do to fix my life that was enjoyable on any level. And I definitely hated working out. I definitely hated starving myself, but I was like, okay, I didn't see any other way. So if I'm not going to be miserable and unhappy and overweight, but the workouts just became another chore that I added to my daily list of chores, and I was still miserable. And the reality is it was only 7 kilos, right? So it wasn't like, I mean, in your mind, you always created a much bigger issue than what it is. But I perceived those 7 kilos to be the thing that stood between me and happiness. So happiness was right here. Here's me with my extra 7 kilos. And the only way I was going to get to happiness was to lose the 7 kilos, which technically is not a big deal. 7 kilos is not a big deal to lose, but it's not impossible by any measure. But it felt impossible. To me, it felt impossible because nothing was working. So I was cutting calories, and then I was cutting out fat, and then I cut protein. I was vegetarian for a while, and then I cut dairy, and then I was like cutting, and nothing worked. And then I would do cardio, and then I would go to a trainer, and he put me on a different system. And no matter what, it didn't work. And then, of course, what would happen? Like what happens to all of us after every single diet we've done? I would binge. I get so frustrated, nothing's working. My willpower would completely run out, and I would just go and eat everything in sight because, well, nothing's working anyway. I might as well enjoy these foods. I was literally trapped in a vicious cycle, literally. And every night, it wasn't like I was even thinking about, I didn't give up. Even the days that I went and binged, in my mind, I wasn't giving up. I would go to bed and say, right, tomorrow's going to be different. I'm going to wake up energized. I'm going to do everything I want to do. And I'm going to feel really happy doing it. And I told this to myself. I repeated it to myself every single night when I got into bed before I closed my eyes. Every single night. And I'm like, it's going to be different. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up. It's going to be different. I know. But it never worked. It never worked. And it was so frustrating because I know, like all of you, right? And like all the clients who join my programs, I'm smart and I'm driven and I'm ambitious. I'm not lazy. I've in my earlier life, there wasn't a goal that I ever set for myself or a target I ever set for myself that I didn't reach. Never. And I knew that I could manage everything else, but just like when it came to my body, I couldn't do a damn thing about it. It was like it stopped. Until complete coincidence, chance meeting, I ran into this nutritionist friend who, not really a friend, somebody introduced me to this nutritionist. And this person, he was a man, actually. He turned out to be a health coach. And I had never heard the term health coach before. I just knew you either go to a dietitian / nutritionist. He was a health coach. And he's like, right, let's sit down, let's have a chat. And this was a coincidence and a friendly conversation that literally changed my life forever. He sat me down, he listened to everything. Like, it was a 2-hour conversation. He listened to everything that I had to say about my physical life, my personal life, my emotions, everything. And at the end of it, he's like, yeah. You need a detox. You need to reset. And here I am 10 years later, detox is my specialty. Back then, I had never heard the word. I'd never heard the word detox before. And I said, what's a detox? He said, well, we're going to have to reset your body. We're going to have to remove certain foods. You're going to have to eat just certain foods for a certain period of time. Your body's really inflamed. You know, you're 38. You've been dieting since you were 23, on and off, doing this diet, then doing this diet. Your body's just tired. Your body's had it. And it's showing you that it's had it. It's showing you that it's not going to cooperate anymore. And so the only way to get it back on board is to help it heal. And we're going to do that with a detox. And I said, okay, right, give it to me. And because for me, he was telling me about all these amazing benefits about how I'm going to heal and be a better mood and be pain-free and all of this. But the whole time he was talking, all I could hear was, you're going to lose weight. You're going to lose weight. You're going to lose weight. That's all I was focused on. And so he walked me through the process and he's like, right, so when you start, you're going to be a little bit irritable. You might be tired. You might find yourself angry. You might find yourself really weepy. You know, if you can, your kids are young, send them to your mother maybe for the first 5 or 6 days of this detox, because you really need to focus on yourself. But once the first 6 or 7 days pass, all of a sudden you're going to find incredible energy. And you're going to wake up well rested, and your mind is going to be sharper and more focused, no more brain fog. And you're going to start losing weight, and all of your joint pains, they're all going to disappear. And then he looked at me up close and he said, you might even have an epiphany. I was like, epiphany, what? I just want to lose weight. Am I going to lose weight? And he literally rolled his eyes at me. He's like, yes, you'll lose weight. I was like, right, just give me the plan. I'm doing it. And everything he said was right. Everything, including the epiphany part. Keep listening. So as I went through this detox, the first one ever in my life, everything he said happened. I yelled, I cried, I slept, I yelled at my kids. I didn't end up sending them to my mom. They stayed home with me, poor things, through this whole process. And I just kept jumping on and off the scale. That's all that I wanted. And because that was still my priority, because weight loss, I never had any other goal in my life besides weight loss. Like, health was never a goal. I didn't know that health alone could be a goal. For me, eating meant you either gain weight or you lose weight. Eating was not, you didn't tie illness or disease or discomfort or pain to food at all. Food was calories in, calories out, scale goes up, scale goes down. That was it. But then it was as though somebody flicked a switch 10 days into this process. And slowly my life began to light back up. For the first time in years, I slept so deeply that I woke up without pressing the snooze button. I woke up by myself. And I woke up, whereas 10 days before I was dragging myself out of bed, I woke up before everybody else and I was happy to be awake. And let me tell you something, ladies, when you're happy to be awake, you can do practically anything. And then other things started happening. Like, I remember the first time I looked at the clock and I realized it was 4 p.m. Or, the day my kids walked in from school and they didn't find me sleeping on the couch. I was like, oh, wait a minute. And then my shoulder, I had been going to physio for 3 months. All of a sudden it stopped just on its own. And then I woke up and just decided to exercise because. Not because I felt I had to, but I felt like I wanted to feel good. And it was like my life suddenly transformed from these like dusty shades of gray into vibrant technicolor. And it dawned on me, like, this detox thing, this cleanse thing, this is not a fad. It's not a fad. It's not a diet. It's not a gimmick. This is the real thing. By literally taking out all the potential allergens and toxins from my diet, reducing all of that harmful inflammation in my body, I had, like he said, reset my body back to zero. I gave myself a clean slate from which to move forward. And from that day on, I threw out the scale and threw out my spandex and stopped counting calories. I stopped worrying about low carb, paleo, vegan, whatever it is. I just know what my trigger foods are and I avoid them. And then everything just falls into place when you know that. And it's such a load off your whole thinking process. Because when it's time to eat, I just asked myself, so is this going to make my shoulder hurt? Is this going to give me a headache? Is this going to make me tired? It was actually that simple. It was simple. Not quite. So this is when we get into part 2 of my story. So that was when I was 37. So it was actually that simple. The most important part of that story was I did have the epiphany that he told me about, and it was to become a health coach. 2 months after this first detox, I became really into this. I was starting to follow food bloggers, and I got an email one day from one of them, and the email said, want to be a health coach. And literally, like, all the light bulbs went off in my head. I was like, this is what I have been waiting for. This is what I wanted to do. You know, fast forward now 10 years. I've been working on as a health coach, my health and everything is stable. But then I started to see and feel things shift in my body again. And these were changes that I couldn't explain, because here I was like, what more am I supposed to do? I'm a health coach. I eat clean. I work out. I drink my water. I do everything. But it was like all of those habits just weren't working anymore. All of a sudden, I was around, I want to say 45. So then my weight started to creep up again, even though it had been stable. And I started to get night sweats, and I started to get palpitations, and what else? My hair started to fall out more than normal. And it never occurred to me that this could be my hormones. And I'm a health coach, but I never made that connection because, like I said, I was really healthy. I have a really healthy lifestyle. And because I didn't have any of the classic symptoms, so my period had always been regular. So I always imagined that when it was time to go through perimenopause or menopause, that my period is going to start to act up. So my period was super, super regular. No cramps. I had gotten rid of my PMS through clean eating already. So I wasn't like moody or weepy or irritable. I wasn't doing the whole binging thing during PMS. I didn't have acne anymore. That was another thing that I had. And so I got some night sweats, and I said, and even when I got the night sweats the first time, I was in complete denial, right? Like most women, when you get your first night sweat, it doesn't register that this is a night sweat. You know, you think that what happened with me, I thought my husband turned the AC off, or he made it warmer, because our entire marriage, we always fight. I need it cooler, he needs it warmer. So for me, it was like, he made it warmer again. And I woke up, my pajamas were soaked, and I was, woke up ready to fight with him. And then I picked up the remote control for the AC, and I realized that the temperature was where I needed it to be. Still didn't register that it's a night sweat until it started to happen over and over and over and over again. And the night sweats would usually start around the time of my ovulation, and then sort of happen intermittently until my period came. But I had no idea what triggered them. So some months they happened a lot. Some months it was just a few times. Like I kind of figured out when they would happen, but there wasn't a definite pattern to that. And that was just really, really, really frustrating. And then I discovered I had fibroids. And if you have fibroids, that's a definite sign of hormonal imbalance, estrogen dominance to be more specific. And so because I'm a health coach, and because I had healed all these other things naturally using nutrition, and I don't take medications unless I absolutely have to. It had been, 10 years, I don't even take a Panadol. I decided, right, I'm going to have to learn how to biohack this situation, biohack my fibroids, the estrogen, the night sweats, all of it. So it took me several months of trial and error. It took me several months, but then I became symptom-free. I got rid of the night sweats completely. I got rid of the heavy bleeding that had started to accompany the fibroids. I had started to get palpitations, fatigue, hair loss, all of it gone. So of course, I want to show you how to do this too. So I shifted my work, and I started to focus on teaching women how to balance their hormones, because it's not normal, ladies. You probably heard me say this before. If you haven't, you're going to hear me say it over and over and over again. It's not normal or a given that this stage of our lives should be difficult or uncomfortable. And by doing what I did over and over and over again, all my clients who implement what I teach consistently and frequently get the same result. So it's not that I was lucky. It's not that I'm just a health coach and I know what to do. I've seen this implemented, and it's repeatable. I have helped thousands of women through this process. So my goal for you in this Boost Your Hormones Naturally class, first goal is for you to understand how and be free of the complexity and the confusion and the overwhelm of all the crazy theories and the diets and the plans and the advice and all this time suffering with your symptoms. Can you imagine how many years we spend suffering? Like, we spend the best years of our life. So if you start getting even minimal symptoms when you're 35, let's say you start getting night sweats at 35, or you just feel very tired, and you spend the next 5 years just being tired, not having energy, not having focus, having mood swings, and then your period starts to act up, and then maybe you get fibroids, and then you go through menopause. By the time you're finished, we're 55, we spent 20 years, the best years of our lives, in some kind of state of discomfort. Why? It's not normal. Nobody has told us that. We just take it that that's just how it is. But if you were to think about it, that's like about 20 years of your life that you spend in some kind of state of discomfort that you don't have to spend in any kind of discomfort. So this is what I want to show you in this class. I don't have the time to show you every little thing in this class. Obviously, we have a short time together, but I'm going to try and cover as much as I can in our 60 minutes every single day. So my goal for you for the next 9 days, and I want you to type yes in the comments if you're with me. My goal for you is to show you how you can be free of all these symptoms naturally, ladies. So let me just reiterate this. I don't use hormone replacement therapy. I don't use medications. There's no funky, potions and lotions. It's all naturally. So if you want to learn how, type yes in the comments. And let me see. Noha says yes. Layla says yes. Yasmin says yes. Nadia says yes. Fatusha says yes. Mahitep says yes. Amazing, ladies. Amazing. Mahitep says yes. Nirmeen says yes. Rizwana, hello. She says yes. Noor, wouldn't want it any way better. Yes. Ines says yes. Yusra says yay. Great. Yes. I love the enthusiasm. Rihem says yes. Selma says yes. Amani says yes. Nawara says yes. Oh my gosh. Dawlat. Hi, Dawlat. Dawlat says yes. Amazing. All right, ladies. Hiba says yes. I am so happy, ladies, that you are all on board. Stay with me. I want nothing more than for each one of you. It's your right. It's your God-given right to live without pain and to be symptom-free. Just nobody has told you that. Instead, we're fed all these myths, right? We're fed these myths in the medical world and from all the women around us that this time is going to be difficult and it's going to be uncomfortable. And if it's not, oh, well, then you're just lucky. That's it. But the truth is that our bodies are amazing. God has given us amazing bodies. He did not give us bodies that just break down. When they break down because we are following a set of instructions that are not in harmony with our body. Our bodies are amazing. They're built for balance and to balance our life. They are built to work with us, not to work and make against us and to make our lives more difficult. When something is not quite right with your body, you're going to feel it, not just physically, but everything. And like I said, these imbalances don't happen in a vacuum. It doesn't just appear. It's slowly been eroding, slowly eating away at you. It always has a root cause, and that root has taken root many years ago. So think with me a little bit. How many of you have been to your doctor because you're feeling tired all the time, or you get period cramps, or you can't sleep, or your hair is falling out, whatever, you're feeling off, whatever your reason is. And you go to the doctor, you do all the tests, and the tests all come back and they're normal. They say everything is normal. So let me know in the comments. Type yes if you have been to your doctor with symptom after symptom, after complaint. You do all the tests come back normal, and then your doctor says, there's nothing wrong with you. Type yes if this has happened to you. Or worse, your doctor tells you, he looks at the tests and everything is normal, and he says, there's nothing wrong with you here. It's probably just stress. You just need to, de-stress a bit. Or what's even worse, he tells you it's in your head. Type yes if that's happened to you. And also type yes if somebody who went and did all the tests and your test actually showed some kind of imbalance, right? So maybe estrogen dominance or insulin resistance or a thyroid condition. But then you ask your doctor, all right, why? Like, you're the professional here. Tell me why this happened. And he says, oh, well, nobody really knows why this happened. We don't know why thyroid starts to act up. It just happens. It's an autoimmune. Your body starts to attack itself. And any hormonal imbalance is common for a woman your age. Okay, I mean, with the exception of insulin resistance, I mean, this one they might mention food, but did they give you a solution? Is there an explanation? Is there an explanation for you, an intelligent woman who is a high achiever, who has studied and probably gone on and done a master's? Some of you have PhDs. You are incredibly intelligent, thinking women, and this person is telling you there's no explanation. You're just supposed to take this at face value. And then maybe they just give you a medication. So let me know in the comments whether you were told you were fine when you were feeling like crap, or you were given a diagnosis without a real explanation, without really understanding what's going on with you, and then the medication doesn't work. Who is that? Let me know. Type yes. Same words, exactly same words doctors are saying. Yes, doctor's dilemma. Yes. Dareen, what age are we talking about? This can happen any age, Dareen. I mean, most of you here are between 35 and 55, but I've seen these same symptoms outside of these age ranges. So I've seen the same symptoms in ladies, young ladies in their 20s, and I've seen the same symptoms in ladies who are in their late 50s and early 60s, right? Yes, yes. Abir says yes. Mona says yes. Jasmine says yes. Fatusha, I've been always told you are fine. It's stress and I'm still suffering, right? No one explanation always with any doctor. It's always stress, blame it on stress, blame it on stress. And then, okay, fine. So you blame it on stress. What's the solution? And what do you mean exactly by stress? And what do you mean exactly, like, how does stress affect my body? Like, what's actually happening when I'm stressed? How does that lower my immunity? How does the stress give me a thyroid problem? How does the stress give me a hormonal imbalance? So, okay, give me an explanation. You don't get one. You don't get one. That's what's so frustrating. All right. So let me give you this quick example. I had a client of mine who had a thyroid condition, and she had small cysts growing on her thyroid. And her doctor had no explanation except that this is autoimmune disease. So the body attacked itself, blah, 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 blah. He puts her on medication. She took the medication for about 8 months and no change. Actually, she felt worse. So then she came to me and I put her on the food plan to help reverse and rebalance her thyroid condition, because food is medicine. Write that down. Food is medicine. What you eat and what you don't eat really do matter. You can either heal yourself or you can keep yourself going down the road of disease. Not because you know it's not your fault, you haven't been told, but food is medicine. So we changed how she eats completely. And then she wanted to go and have an ultrasound 3 months later. And the ultrasound showed that her cysts had shrunk. And in the medical report, it was actually written, there is no more evidence of a thyroid condition. But when she went to her doctor with the results, he couldn't believe it. And he couldn't believe, like, not in a wow kind of way, like in a condescending kind of way, he couldn't believe it. And he couldn't believe that it happened without medication and that it was just food. Like, he really made fun of it. Like, really? You just changed how you ate? And this is just one success story. There is success story after success story after success story, right? So it's very frustrating that we're not taken seriously. It's very frustrating that we're told that it's normal. There has to be a reason why suddenly everything gets triggered. We want to lose weight and you can't. And then that creates this domino effect in our lives. We want to feel energetic, but we can't. And it can be so frustrating, especially when you think you're eating all the right foods, right? And you focus on working out and you think you're doing all the right things based on conventional advice, but you still aren't seeing the results. So you end up with stubborn weight, you end up with night sweats, hot flashes, fibroids, PCOS, ovarian cysts, heavy or irregular periods, all the mood struggles, the brain fog, not being able to concentrate, skin issues, acne, psoriasis, eczema, lack of libido, just constant fatigue. And at the end of the day, really, or the middle of the day like me, you just want to drag your poor, tired body on the couch and give up. I've been there. So the last thing you want to hear when you go and reach out for somebody to help you is that, oh, this is normal. It's normal. No, it's not. It's not. Waking up in the middle of the night in a pool of sweat is not normal. Sitting in your office in a meeting and you're heating up like an oven in the middle of January is not normal. Going through excruciating pain every single cycle is not normal. Becoming a crazy lunatic every single cycle is not normal. Your emotional roller coasters are not normal. Acne is not normal. Heavy bleeding is not normal. Not finding energy every single day just to do the simple things that you need to do or spend time with your kids is not normal. Not having a sexual desire is not normal. I don't care what every single friend of yours is telling you or what your mother is telling you or what your husband is telling you. It's not normal. And walking around with chronic pain is not normal. How have we normalized pain? How have we made it okay that we walk around 4 days, 5 days, maybe every single day with some kind of pain or discomfort? How have we made that okay? It's not okay and it's not normal. Diabetes is not okay. It's not normal. PCOS, autoimmune, none of it is normal. And this is what I tell all my clients in my program. Just because something is common, so here's the differentiation. Here's what you need to write down. Just because something is common, meaning everybody you know is experiencing it, right? Everybody you know, all your friends are experiencing 1 or 5 of these symptoms. Your sisters, your mother, your grandmothers before that, your aunts, your friends' sisters, your friends' grandmothers, your friends' mothers, every single woman you know. That just means it's common. Everybody you know is going through the same experience. It doesn't mean it's normal. Just because something is common doesn't mean it's normal. Just because every single woman in your life, your mother, your aunts, your grandmothers all suffered with these normal symptoms doesn't make it normal. More importantly, it doesn't mean you're going to end up having them also. Doesn't mean you're going to end up having them. Because just because everybody you know is sick, just means it's common. It means that everybody you know is following an outdated plan or outdated paradigm. Everyone is getting the wrong advice. So it's time for us to shift the paradigm, because here's what normal is, ladies, and write this down. Here's what normal is: feeling vibrant, healthy, light, energetic, excited, pain-free, no night sweats, sleeping deeply, waking up without aches and pains, focused, ambitious, having a period that just kind of visits you in and out. You don't even know that it's there. It's possible, ladies. My period is literally a surprise every single month. There's nothing that leads up to it. I discover I have it the day I go to the bathroom, and then we're done with it a few days later. Drama-free. That's how your period should be. Drama-free. That's normal. Do you agree with this, ladies? Let me know in the comments. Type yes if you agree. Solange, last time we chat, then I took your advice and cut all the meat, chicken, and dairy. I can already see the difference. My night sweat has lowered considerably. There you go. Amazing. Yes, I totally agree. My life changed a lot while understanding and quitting the food allergies. Yes. Ines says yes. Rizwan says totally agree. Layla, yes, agree. Noha says yes. Everybody says yes. I mean, look at where your gut is leading you, that you agree, right? You agree it's not normal. You agree that we've normalized pain, and why on earth have we normalized pain? You know that normal is not what you're living, right? Look at you saying yes, 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 yes. This is what you all want, because that is how we were built. That's how God made us. So in the next 9 days, I'm going to explain the main hormones that usually get imbalanced, why this imbalance happens, what you can do to start to bring them to balance and start to reduce your symptoms. I'm going to bring in my clients. This time I'm actually bringing in clients who they're in the middle of the hormone reset program. Usually I bring ladies who have finished the program. This time I'm bringing in ladies who are in the middle of the program so they can share their experiences with you, because you do need to hear from real live women, not just me. And of course, I'm going to be inviting you to join me in my upcoming hormone reset program, because like I said, I can only do so much in the free classes with the limited time that we have. But for today, I want you to think about this. Again, whenever I tell you to think about something, I mean, write it down. So write this down. You are powerful and you can take back control of your health. Nobody can take that away from you. You are powerful and you can take back control of your health, and nobody can take that away from you. If I had known that back then, if I had known what I'm teaching you now, I would have saved myself suffering and wasted time and days spent on the couch and misery and all of it. Because when you change how you eat and when you change how you fuel your body, you are making a very conscious decision. It's not a sacrifice. Because now you'll be thinking, oh, she's going to ask me to give up things. And I don't want to give up things. I don't want to sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice. When you change how you eat and you fuel your body, you're making a choice to empower yourself, to take back control, to make better decisions, and to prioritize you. That's not a sacrifice. When you do that, it's going to show. It's going to show up in every area of your life. So even if your parents and your friends and the doctors and everybody tells you that, there's no other way, what you have is genetic, which it is to an extent. So let's say your mother has fibroids. So you have the fibroids gene. Okay. Your grandmother had cancer. So your chances of getting cancer are high. Okay. Everybody in your family gets wrinkles by the age of 45. Okay. But here's what they're not telling you. Your genetics are only a loaded gun. Yeah, it's loaded. You've got it. It's there, all right. It's loaded with your parents' genes, with your grandparents' genes, your great-grandparents' genes. They're all there. But this loaded gun will only go off if it's triggered. And what are the triggers? Food and lifestyle. So if you eat and you drink and you move and you live exactly the same way as your parents and your grandparents and your great-grandparents, you're probably going to have the same issues. Definitely, 100%. Right now, I'm 48. Technically, based on my genetics, I should already have diabetes, arthritis, high blood pressure. Let's see, my mom got her whole uterus removed because of fibroids. I have the fibroids, but they're not causing an issue. And the beginning of a heart disease. I should by 48. That's where my parents were at 48. Technically, that's where I should be at 48. But I stopped eating and living and drinking and moving and being. I stopped doing it the way my parents did. And it's no fault of their own. They were given the wrong set of instructions. They didn't know. But I consider it a blessing that I was given the chance to learn a different way. And so that means that I get to live my life in a different way. So the same thing can happen to you. If you eat different food than your parents, let's say you don't drink as much coffee as your mother, or you just don't drink as much as your uncle. Or if you move and become the most athletic one in your family, you walk every single day and you sweat buckets most days of the week. You stop eating all the foods that create inflammation. Guess what's going to happen? What if you go and live your life the way that you want to live your life? Not the way that everybody else wants you to live your life, or the way that everybody else is expecting you to live your life. And this is what I show you how to do in the hormone reset program. But do you know what's going to happen then? It's going to show, and it's going to show from the inside out. And all of those genetics that you've got, they're going to get confused, and they're going to retreat, and they're going to refrain, and they're going to evolve with you instead of against you. So all this is to say, when you combine, and this is something to write down, when you combine nutrition plus a vibrant life lived on your own terms, you change everything. Because your imbalanced hormones are not a curse that's here to stay. You have the power to change how they function, and you have the power to rebalance your health. Because we only get one shot at life, ladies. We know that now. Like we see it every single day in our Facebook feeds. How fleeting it is, how fragile it is. You only get one shot. One. So you want to feel energetic, and you want to feel confident in your body, and you want to feel confident in your skin. So, which means you have to make the most of the time that you have. You have to make the most out of time that you have. And I know you're ready for a change because you're here. You're ready to feel better in yourself. You're ready to try something new. You're ready to move on. And that's why I'm here. That's why I created these classes, to literally help you eradicate all the lack of knowledge you could possibly have about hormones and your health and how they affect your day-to-day life and how to maintain hormonal harmony with your body. right? I'm not about fad diets. I don't do miracle cures. I don't do pills and shakes. I don't tell you that it's only my way that's going to work, but I know my way works. And I know how our bodies work. Our bodies are amazing. They can heal us and support us when we care for them and listen to their needs. You just have to get the right tools. That's it. You haven't been handed those tools yet. And a big part of that is committing to yourself and showing up. That's the first step. So I'm urging you to show up here for the 9 days, plus the bonus class. So 10 days. Take it as a practice or like a dry run for showing up for your health or making a change. Are you going to show up on the first day today and then slowly get lazy as the days go by? Like, are you going to be really, really excited? Like, let me see how many of you are here. 1 second. 102 ladies. Remember, 102 are here watching this live. 102, because I'm going to tell you what this number is going to be on day 9. 102 of you are watching this live. So by day 9, do you think we're still going to be 102 ladies watching this live? I know there's going to be more ladies watching the replay, but we're just going to take the live number as a measure. By day 9, are you still going to be as excited and energetic as you are today to learn about hormones and how they can change your health? Or are you going to start to listen to me? You're going to start to maybe hear things you really don't want to hear and things that kind of like bring up resistance and, oh, I don't really want to do that, or that's going to be really too hard. And then something comes up and, oh, well, I need to take care of my kids. Oh, my son has an exam. Oh, they have a soccer practice, so I'm going to miss today's class. Are you going to start to come up with excuses why you're not going to watch the class? So that by day 10, this class is a distant memory? Or are you going to be here 9 days in a row, live or replay? Because I know I will. And no matter what you're going to hear from me, you're going to hear it with an open mind. And you're going to be excited, and you're going to be eager to learn, and you're going to be committed to changing your life and your health. Think about it. How you show up for this class is how you show up for yourself. Something else to write down. How you show up for this class is how you show up for yourself. So let me know in the comments again. Will you be here for 9 days no matter what? That's actually today's question. Email me your answer. Will you be here for the 9 days no matter what, whether live or replay? Email me at questions@danadenari.com. questions@danadenari.com and let me know. And let me know, ladies. We're wrapping up. Before we wrap up, I want you to let me know what is the one biggest takeaway for you from today's class. That I want you to put in the comments now. I want to see that. So the question for today is, are you going to show up every single day for 9 days? Send me the answer to that at questions@danadenari.com. That's if you want to go into the draw for the free class. Send me the answer there. In the comments, I want to know what your biggest takeaway was from today. What's the most important thing, the most significant thing that you learned from today? Let's see. Change can happen. There may be hope. It's a common problem. I will be here either in the live or rewatch the recording. Amazing. It's all about you. Food is the key. Detox. Food is medicine. What else are your takeaway, ladies? Food is medicine. Popular pains are not normal. Yes, food is my medicine. My body has healing powers. That my period could not be as bad. Oh, wow, it's going really fast. I'm not alone. I'm not a lazy person. Oh, not at all. Hormonal imbalances are avoidable 100%. Common doesn't mean normal. I get to choose how I live going forward. Absolutely, Ingrid. Absolutely. I have to have a time for me, my health, my life, my goals. I can actually take control of my health problems and lifestyle. There is hope. Dina, to insist on being normal. Did not expect to find all those nice ladies who are enthusiastic, so happy. This is why when I said at the beginning of this video, it's your opportunity to be in community. You are in a group of women who are ready to change how they see their health and how they see their lives. You might not find support outside of this group. You probably won't. If you start talking about this to a lot of people, you might find people criticizing you, judging you, mocking you. That's not going to happen in this group. This is where you're going to find all the support you need as you listen, as you learn, as you question, and as you make the change. Ilham, big takeaway from today, I am not alone and I can change my healthy lifestyle. Muna, my body is amazing. I'm willing to unlock its powers. Yes, I love that. Abir, I'm not alone. May, prioritize my health and live symptom-free. Layla, love the support of this group. This group is amazing. Meha, our body can cure and protect us if we understand it. 100%. 100%, ladies. With that, I'm going to wrap up today's class. Thank you so much, those of you who are here live, those of you who are watching the replay. Be sure to leave your comments below. I go back and I check everybody's comments and make sure that if there's a single question I've missed, I answer all the questions. Make sure you mark your calendars so you don't miss a single session. Be sure to sign up in the link above. So important, so that you get the reminder emails and that you get access to the bonus class. Because if you don't sign up in the link, you're not going to get access to the bonus class. All right. What else? Quick reminder, the replays. So all of these sessions are recorded. They will stay in the group until June 5th. For those of you planning on watching the replays, those of you who are in the VIP class, we are going to move over to our Zoom call right now. Those of you who want to be in the Zoom class, make sure to go and sign up in the link so you can join us. The Zoom class is for a smaller group of women who want to have more one-on-one attention and time from me. Having said all that, I will see you all tomorrow again, same time, same place. Keep inviting your friends. Come in here and ask me all the questions that you have, because there is no question that's too silly. There's no question that I'm going to judge. There's no question that I haven't heard before. I'm here to help you and I'm here to support you. This class is for you. Thank you so much, ladies, and see you all again tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye.